Hello there, World of Tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 American Collector Heavy Tank, the Concept 1B. This is the most sought-after Tier 10, I would be willing to say, and, well, it's gonna cost you a lot of money to get your hands on. I'm not exactly sure how much money, but we already know that this tank from Wargaming's Coming Soon teaser trailer will be in snow globes. However, that's not the only thing that this tank could be in. There's also the Blitzfair auctions. Now, Wargaming has shown us that the Chieftain Mark 6 and as well AMX M454 are going to be in the Blitzfair auctions. However, I'm not too sure about the concept. If you want my honest opinion, because I've had a lot of people ask me this on live stream, I don't think this is going to be a Blitzfair auction tank. Why? Well, Wargaming knows they can milk a lot of money out of it, and because of that, I would expect them to leave it in the snow globe so people gamble more on trying to get those snow globes. It's possible they could put it in the Blitzfair auction and make it like 50,000 gold or something ridiculous. But yeah, I guess we'll see, right? Either way, in today's video, I thought it would just be quite nice to make a precursor to whatever happens in the Blitzfair, letting you know everything you need to about this tank. So let's first of all start off with the statistics. The gun, first of all, it's got a 3-second aiming time and 0.317 dispersion, making this a very accurate heavy tank. It's not as accurate as a vehicle like the T110E5 or the FV4202, but 0.317 is enough to get the job done for most situations, especially because you're going to use this tank at mid-ranges, I would say. You're not going to frontline in the concept. It's not a good tank for just balls to the wallsing it right in the front line. It's a good tank for staying about maybe 50 meters apart from your opponents. That way you have enough time to back up if they try rushing you, and that's where the accuracy is good enough. Same for the aiming time. It's also got absolutely fantastic on-movement dispersion, making it actually quite an accurate vehicle shooting on the move. When it comes to damage per minute, very good. I'm running calibrated shells, which I would suggest you do when driving this vehicle because it does have very poor heat penetration. So it's got good DPM, either 2900 with rammer or 2737 with Cali. You shouldn't really worry about the damage per minute in this type of tank, though, because its armor's so good haul down, you can just basically sit in front of your opponents and kind of laugh at them as long as they don't push you. So it doesn't matter how long it takes you to whittle them down. As long as they can't pen you, well, you're winning every time with the trades, right? When it comes to pen, 271 on the standard and 341 on the heat. So it's good, but it's not great. Like, the heat pen is enough, I would say. You'll penetrate the upper plate of a Type 71 at most angles. You can pen most armor, and U-100 turret at frontally facing. However, if you decide to run gun rammer, good luck penetrating any of those tanks I just listed, because most likely you're not. When it comes to the average damage, it has 380 on the standard, 330 on the heat. Now, that's actually pretty good, because yes, the average damage on the standard is a bit lower than your average 120mm. For example, the T95E6 has a 120mm, does 400 on the standard. However, something you might notice now is that the heat on the E6 loses 60 damage per shot when going to premium rounds. However, the Concept only loses 50 damage per shot, going from 380 to 330. That means that you actually are gaining DPM compared to other 400 alpha heavies, down to the fact that you're not losing as much damage when loading heat. Also, the HE on this tank is fantastic. 500 average damage means that you're gaining 120 average damage from your standard. Again, if we were to look at a vehicle, for example, like the T95E6, this vehicle has 400 alpha on the standard, 515 on the HE, which means you're gaining actually more in the Concept with HE damage than you are in the T95E6, even though that vehicle has a larger caliber gun. So yeah, I would say the Concept gun overall is really good. Like, the alpha is not a problem. People are always like, do low rolls, but what if it high rolls? I would say overall it's good enough alpha, and it's actually kind of nice that you have a bit lower than your average 400 alpha, because it means that you always know you basically out reload anybody you poke, and you still reload fast enough to contest a lot of mediums. Gun depression wise, 10 degrees, absolutely fantastic. When it comes to mobility, 45 kilometers per hour of a forward speed and reverse of 18, making it an incredibly mobile tank, especially with power to weight of 18.1. It's not the fastest, I would say, accelerating or going uphill, but it is a heavy after all. It's fast enough though, that's what I like to say. If you have a lot of money saved up and you're planning to buy the Concept 1B, that is all up to you. But I am going to say a buyer's beware, so that at least if you don't enjoy the tank or it's not exactly what you thought it was going to be, it's not my problem because I want to cover all my bases. So, Two things I want to say about the concept. First of all, Update 9.1 drastically changed the matchmaker. Yes, while I believe that when the Concept 1B first came into the game, it was one of the most overpowered tanks in Tier 10 Wargaming has ever made since OGT22, I definitely feel like the tank is not nearly as powerful as it previously was, down to the simple fact that every other tank basically got buffed, which kind of shadow nerfed this vehicle. If you think about it, E6 got a huge DPM buff, 57 Heavy got much troller armor, it got shell reload boost, the E5 got better accuracy, better armor now with PBR, the M6 Yo has much faster clipping potential, it also has dead-eye accuracy, theoretical Cali, and shell reload boost. I mean, for the most part, if you were to look at just about every Tier 10 Heavy, E100 got a turret armor buff. If we take a look at the Chronic, got an intra-clip buff, gets out its damage faster. VK72 now has tungsten shells. The IS-4 has 2,800 hit points. Super Conch got more armor. FV2 and 5B has more DPM. Type 71 was released, a vehicle that the concept struggles to pen. 5A got a DPM increase. 113 got more traverse. Think about it. Almost every single Tier 10 Heavy was buffed, and we're not even scratching the surface on mediums or any other type of vehicle, so keep that in mind. The concept definitely got shadow nerfed in a way that all the other tanks got better, and this one actually lost 20 millimeters of upper plate armor, kind of making it worse in some situations. So that's the first thing I should say. The second thing is, while yes, this is a predominantly hull down tank, not every game are you going to be able to play this tank hull down. There are battles when you're going to need to use that mobility to reposition, to go into other spots, kind of like a T95 E6. In fact, I would say that this tank plays very similar to a T95 E6. Because of that, I would also say that while this tank seems very easy to play, it also has some tricky gameplay aspects that you're going to have to take advantage of. With those two things, you should definitely realize that, well, the tank's not what it used to be. It's still very strong, and it's still got a lot of great things going for it, but it's definitely not a completely overpowered tank anymore. I do feel like its hull down capabilities allow it to be, really strong in some situations, but I don't feel like they allow it to be OP in every situation, is the best description I can give you. For example, kind of a spot like this, where I can't really poke that much because I know I'm going to show my hull, although I do think I can squeeze a shell into this Hori. There you go, nice shot. Alright, well, we're doing okay so far, and my E5 got another nice pen into that Hori as well. Let's see, we got the 113, and... oh yeah, look at that. Nice slap into the guy's hatch. You can see right there a good example of the gun's nice accuracy. It is really, really good. We got the Super Conch off to the side, and I don't know where that shell went, but it clearly did not go into him. Now, with very common sense, I know that the Hori was spotted off towards, we saw the Hori. So, if the Hori's over there, then that means, this might be a bad idea, but I don't know why our team would be scared to push this. What do they have that we would have to be scared of? They've got a Progetto, and seriously, what does our team have to be scared of here? So I'm going to take the initiative. This is a good example of where you're not always going to be hull down in the concept. Oh boy, there's their whole team, but we were able to get into the position I wanted to, which is good. This is a really, really good spot because it's going to absolutely bully the 62A, and it's going to try and force him out of this spot. You can see I'm basically fully hull down against him, and I've got my adrenaline on, using my great DPM against him as well. This here is the dream position for a vehicle like the Concept. You always want to try and put yourself in a position like this. That is why, if you noticed, I played so aggressive to get here. These are the kind of maneuvers that you have to be smart enough to make. I don't think the average player would do something like that. And if you don't, then you're going to be stuck in a standstill and probably not get all that much out. Now, we got the 57 off to the side. Honestly, that was on me. I shouldn't have done that, but oh well. It's not too much of a worry for me. We've got the, the bat jet in the back. That's a bit of free damage, maybe. Boop. There you go. Nice shot. We're up to 3,300 damage already, and we've completely pincered their team into their spawn to a point where they really can't do anything at this point. Unfortunately, that shell did end up missing the bat chat, but I don't think it really matters too much. We're going to win this either way, and even if I don't get any more damage out this game, I'm happy with the damage I've already done. Hopefully that prog finishes off. Okay, well, it looks like I will be finishing off the 57 Heavy. You can see the Super Conch tried to HE my sides, but, well, this tank's actually got pretty good side armor, whether you believe it or not. So all we got left is the Boss Chatillon over here, who, boop, there you go. Nice slap on the move. As I said, its on-movement dispersion is pretty good, and that was a 3,900 damage gain. Now, One thing you should also notice about the concept, and this is another downside I actually forgot to talk about, is the aggressive playstyle. Let's pretend you're in a 60 TP. You know in the 60 that you outtrade anything in front of you. In fact, you probably wouldn't be all that scared to poke a concept or, a lot of 400 alpha vehicles when you plop on your tungsten and slap them for 700 damage. You can imagine how vice versa, you don't really want to push in the concept. It's one of those tanks where you really just want to stay hull down. You don't want to over-aggress, because if you do, you can very easily put yourself in an overly pushable situation that the enemy can take advantage of. Which means that, unfortunately with this tank, you do rely on your team to sometimes not fall apart and make the aggressive push that you can't. That is something also that I should point out about this vehicle. That's the majority of reason why I lose, I would say, most games that I do lose in the concept is simply down to the fact that you rely on your team to push. You are not a tank that is great at pushing. So, yeah. Alright, well, let's see what we can do in this battle. My 57 Heavy is going towards the correct side of the map, so we'll see what we can do here. Now, that enemy said he's going to tunnel me, and honestly, I could care less, because I am in a concept. So, I mean, what are you going to do? You're either going to YOLO me and die, or, yeah, it's not going to go very well. Now, unfortunately, you can see the armor on the concept is not doing amazing. I mean, we blocked 560, but we also got penned for a little bit as well, so good and bad, I guess, right? I don't want to poke a Sheridan, I'm going to be completely honest. Sheridans are a pain in the butt to deal with. So, let's see. There you go. Nice shot, and the Sheridan fired as well. But I'm just going to chill here. I mean, they can't really do much to me. This 2 and 5B is overexposing his tank, giving me a very easy shell into his vehicle. Alright, well, thank you very much for the hit points, good sir. Let's aim it on the side of the 50B, finishing him off. And with that, we've already dealt pretty solid chunks here. Alright, let's see. Well, the 2 and 5B can't really do much against me, which is good. That's actually really good. Now, one thing that you should know about the 2 and 5B is that it can actually hesh the lower plate of a vehicle like the Concept, which is something that could obviously be a worry. I'm just going to wait for him to back up. There you go. You can see just how weak the 2 and 5B side armor is. It's actually sad how weak the side armor is of the 2 and 5B. Oh, we got a grill off to the side. Hello, Grill Baggins. There you go. Nice, easy slap into his tank. With that, we're already up to 1,800 damage dealt. We got the 2 and 5B once again playing very aggressive here. I'm going to track the 2 and 5B, and because this guy has no repair kits and a dead driver, he's in an absolutely awful situation here. Gets tracked again. We're going to go for his track wheel again. Back up, and wow, okay, it looks like he just penned in my mantlet. But, yeah, good job tunneling me in your 2 and 5B. That went absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, my teammate actually just threw his tank away there, and we are not winning this. I'm going to be honest. We are definitely not winning this engagement right now. I need to back up very quickly. My 57 Heavy is going to die. There's nothing I can do about that, which means I'm in just about the worst situation I probably could be stuck in here. We got a E50M and Badger both farming me right now. And I'm kind of screwed, I'm going to be honest. I am not kind of screwed, but really, really, really screwed. But unfortunately, there is nothing I can do about it. There is literally nothing I can do. So, yeah, welcome to the Concept. It's a great tank. It's an absolutely fantastic tank. But do you remember what I said earlier? It relies on your team. It really does. And when your team sucks, there's nothing you can do about it. Think about it. I single-handedly basically killed that full health 2 and 5B. I also held the Sheridan, also managed to hold off the grill, and what did my team do? They died, because my 57 Heavy pushed up the bridge and just got pooped on because he doesn't have turret armor. I don't know why he played so aggressive, but... And then our TDs obviously didn't cover from behind because they thought it was more important to flank, which was definitely not the case. Unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. But, there's really not much to say, is there? It's Blitz, and teams suck. Let's just watch our grill die. Well, imagine this guy HEs himself. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But here he goes! And the Sheridan, I would just go for it. I mean, the Sheridan's literally not going to die. Oh, well, the Sheridan lost more health doing that maneuver than he would have if he had just poked the dude. But let's see how much damage we did. That's really the ending result that I want to take a look at. Here we go! And yeah, 4,500 damage dealt. As you can see, pretty easy to get damage out in the concept. We did easily top on the team, but unfortunately we had a Sheridan that did 0 damage. We had a 57 heavy that did 400. I mean, heck, you're in a super conk, dude. 57% fully hull down tank on the bridge, and you fall apart that quick. But that's just, that's how Blitz is. Don't worry, though, I got a thumbs down for doing my job. Either way, I mean, that's the concept. It's a really solid tank, but if you take a look at my victories and defeats here, look at it. It's really scattered. And you might think, well, maybe I suck. But I mean, defeat, 3,500 damage, and I should also point out that that was right up there next to top on the team. And the other defeat was 4,600, and I lost to Supremacy Cat because my grill just YOLO'd and died. I mean, the games that I've won as well, I've done well, 2,800, 4,200, and 3,900. So the concept is a great tank, don't get me wrong. Absolutely fantastic. But I'm not doing very well in the tank every time I play it. I mean, today in the concept, I'm going 50% on the dot, which is, you can see, very disappointing. 3,900 average damage, and yet I'm going 50% on the dot. I mean, that is really disappointing, and it really shows that it's just not that reliable of a tank when you have to rely on teams. But that's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. It's a great tank, as I said, absolutely fantastic. Just, you need to keep in mind there are downsides, because everybody just thinks it's the most broken thing since the T-22, really. But I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.